Hey, it's Professor Bear. Educational curriculum was built, before AI was useful, to develop pattern recognition, fact retrieval, and syntactic correctness. Those are now the things machines do better than any human who has ever lived. AI didn't create that failure, it exposed it. Irreducibly Human is a response to that exposure. 6 courses, 7 tiers of human cognition organized by what machines can and cannot do. But here's the thing nobody usually talks about. The tools we use to build this series aren't separate from what the series teaches. They're the argument made visible. 7 tiers. The taxonomy isn't academic. It's a triage. Tier 1 is where machines are superhuman. Pattern recognition, recall, associative lookup. Standardized tests live here. So does most of the current curriculum. Tiers 2 through 7 are where the human case is still intact. Embodied knowledge, social and moral reasoning, metacognition, causal and counterfactual thinking, collective intelligence, and practical wisdom. The tools in this pipeline were chosen because each one forces you to exercise a specific tier. Not to describe the capacity, to use it. Tier 4 is the intelligence that oversees all the others. Gardner never named it. This taxonomy does. It includes plausibility auditing, knowing an answer is wrong before you recompute it. Problem formulation, deciding what is worth solving in the first place. And tool orchestration, knowing which tool to use, when, and whether to trust it. AI's capability at Tier 4 is very poor. Popper is an assertion verification framework. Popper has many tools, but most read and collect data and flag suspect claims for expert review. It doesn't fix them, it surfaces them. You decide. What Popper is actually doing, underneath the function, is training Tier 4. Every time you review a Popper flag and make a call, you're practicing plausibility auditing. You're building the capacity to hear the wrong note before anyone else does. Tier 1 without Tier 4 is a very efficient way to be confidently wrong at scale. Popper is the friction that prevents that.
Tier 5 is Judea Pearl's ladder of causation. 3 rungs. Observation. What is? Intervention. If I do X, what happens? Counterfactual. What would have happened if I had done X instead? Current AI is superhuman at rung 1, nearly absent at rungs 2 and 3. A system that identifies correlations in data cannot tell you whether your intervention will work. That reasoning must be supplied by a human. SOCRIT applies Socratic evaluation using the Paul Elder framework. It doesn't give you the answer. It gives you the question you should have asked before you thought you had one. That is Tier 5 in practice. You arrived at the data. SOCRIT asks, what caused it? What would happen if you changed the condition? What would the world look like if you'd chosen differently? It doesn't answer those questions. It holds you to the ladder until you climb it yourself. Tier 3, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence. Moral reasoning under genuine stakes. Machines produce outputs that read as empathetic without experiencing anything. The danger isn't that the output is wrong. The danger is that the capacity atrophies in the person who stops exercising it. Zelda is a game design document consultant adapted for the ethical play course, where the assignment is to build a game that makes a player feel moral weight, not describe ethics, demonstrate them in the mechanics. Zelda evaluates whether game is built like a real professional product intended to be engaging and fun. If the ethics flag is enabled, then it also evaluates whether the ethics survive the AI audit, whether you've embedded moral weight into the rules, the choices, the consequences, not just the storyline. The game is the argument. Zelda is the pressure that makes sure the argument holds. Back to Tier 4, because metacognition isn't one tool, it's a suite. Figure Architect reads a chapter draft and identifies high assertion zones, places where the text is carrying too much without a visual to anchor it. It generates figure prompts to reduce assertion density. Your claims become diagrams. The visual replaces the assertion because the assertion has to earn its abstraction. That is interpretive judgment, knowing what a result means in this context and what form it needs to take to communicate it honestly. Tic TOC builds textbook architecture. Publication-ready tables of contents with learning outcomes, prerequisite maps, and the chapter-by-chapter logic of what a learner needs to know before they can know the next thing.
backward design, built in. The sequence is not cosmetic. It is the argument about what depends on what. That is problem formulation, deciding what is worth knowing and in what order. Tier 6 is intelligence that is not a property of any individual. It emerges from systems of people in relationship. The collaborative friction that refines an idea in ways neither participant could achieve alone. Language models may be a lossy compression of collective human intelligence. They reflect the record, not the practice that generated it. The algorithm has access to the literature. It is absent from the practice by definition. The Boyle System is AI-assisted documentary infrastructure for scientific reproducibility. It tracks research process, not just research output. Piloted across 150-plus humanitarians AI fellows. What the number hides is the mechanism. The Boyle System forces the research process to be legible to others, not just completed by one person. It creates the conditions for Tier 6 to operate. The collective can only act on what it can see. And then there's Tier 1, the tier machine zone. The correct response is not to abandon it. It's to learn to operate these tools without being replaced by them. CRITIQ teaches academic writing and research through a peer review protocol built for the AI era. 8 dimensions. A /brainstorm command that moves raw curiosity to a research question. A /learn command for research terminology and context. You learn the vocabulary while you need it. CAZE generates custom case studies for any domain, any problem, any level of comfort with ambiguity. The case is the classroom. The discomfort is the pedagogy. Both tools operate at Tier 1, but they're designed to pull the learner toward the tiers above it. CRITIQ teaches you to evaluate, not just produce. CAZE teaches you to reason under uncertainty, not just retrieve. The forklift operated well. The full Irreducibly Human series lives at irreducibly.xyz. Each tool has its own video in the Bear Brown library. Search the tags Tools and Bear to find them. What you're looking at is the work in progress. The argument evolves through conversation. The curriculum takes shape as the design is debated. You're not watching a finished product. You're watching a method. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thanks for watching the Bear Brown YouTube channel.